there we go. All right, now it's recording. So today's prompt is Whispering Enchantments, Crafting Enchanting Autumn Embellishments. And we go through kind of using scraps and basically, because you should have plenty of scraps by now if you've been going through it. And if not, you probably have plenty of scraps if you do any kind of crafting. And we're talking like any scraps. So like fabric scraps, paper scraps. I mean, anything that you have lying around, packaging, whatever you've been using. Negative space from like things that you punched out. If you have like a Cricut, you always get these little cutout things. All of those different things. So we want to just grab everything we can and then make things out of those. We give you a few different things that you can make. We give you a lot of almost everything said optional, but you know, you just want anything you can get. Twigs, pine cones too, if you can go outside and find all that. My brother and I went over the last few days because we keep trying to go see if we have anything. Fortunately, all of the stuff in our yard, for some reason, before we moved into this place, they pulled out all the trees, which we have no idea why. Well, kind of no idea why, but yeah, it didn't make any sense. But so the only trees we had left are fruit trees, and then behind the property, all there is eucalyptus. So we have like no fall leaves, and we can't find any so far in the neighborhood, which is really not been fun. So I'm gonna have to go out to a park or find a park that I can find some more like actual fall leaves. It's driving me nuts. But although I did find out we have a mulberry tree. I didn't even know they can grow into trees. I always thought they were bushes, but apparently there's trees. But yeah, so you know, go out and grab all that. We've been trying to find stuff in my yard, and we every once in a while find a really cool stick or something like that. And we have all the branches from the trees that they took out, which is cool. But mostly we have a lot of big trunks, so we can't use that. But we had a bunch of different scrap ideas that you can use, things from fabrics, papers, anything with a good pattern, or we can add those patterns to it. Different things that we can cut out from fabrics. We can cut leaves and stuff from fabrics. Oh, and I forgot to grab my peking shears. I gotta go find those. Different little patchwork stuff. My mom, I know, like all the time, she always tries to sew us PJ pants. We call them PJ pants, but pajama pants, and you know, with different fall and holiday textures and stuff like that. So we always have like scraps from that we can use. So that's really fun. We can patchwork together a bunch of different stuff, either for like, you could use patchwork stuff for a full cover. There's a video back in the beginning. One of my friends, her YouTube is Tsunami Rose. Her name's Daisy, and she does a lot of patchwork fabric stuff. So if you want to learn a little bit more about doing patchwork or quilting type of covers and stuff, she does a lot of that. And then just getting all your like little bits and bobs, things that you collect or whatever. I'm always collecting little things that I find that are cute, little trinkets that you can put together as well. And let's see. So there's a whole extra thing on today's prompt. So today's prompt has different ideas than what we're actually going to do. So what I was going to show you today is I like to use fabric scraps just to make little stamped embellishments. And it's really easy because you're just cutting up your fabric scraps into whatever stamp you want. And then you can add it to your pieces. So I've done it before. I think this is the right one. I'm trying to make sure I grab the right book. I have two books that look almost identical, and I'm always mixing them up. This might be one of the ones I mixed up. I think it's in my other book. But yeah, but here's one. So like a little fabric. This one I didn't make. This one I did actually buy, like a whole pack. But I was like, well, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of my own. And this one's a little fabric stiffened. It's a thicker, almost canvasy type of one. But I like the thinner one. You use the picking shears just to hold it together. I also use stop fray if you don't want it to fray out too much. But when you cut it up, but I like the whole idea of there being a little bit of fraying and stuff like that to my fabric scraps. You can use any stamps you want. I do recommend using some sort of like dye ink at least. I wouldn't use pigment ink just because it's so reactive with water that if you glue it on, you might get a little bit of bleeding. But if you use something like this, like archival inks, detail ink from Brutus Monroe, stays on ink, any of those will work really good. The only thing about stays on ink is it dries so fast. Uh, Trying to put it on fabric over and over again, sometimes it doesn't hit it right the first time. But just varieties of different stamps. These are clear cling stamps, and the way you use these, you just stick them to something like this, some sort of block. The blocks all look different. They come in different ways. These are Tonics blocks, which I don't 100% still get it. I get that they have a handle. I don't know if there's a reason there's like a deep well here, or it's just because that's the way they built the handles on them. But these stick to this. At least they do when they're clean. Mine was sitting in a drawer, so it's got a little bit of dusty on the back of it. There you go. And then it just clings to the back of this. You can also get rubber stamps, red rubber, that are cling red rubber that look really cool on these, to make different things. So like this one says spooky. It's really cute. I'm in total Halloween making mode right now. That's why there's bats on my desk and stuff like that, because we're decorating the house together. So the whole family all weekend and all this week is just going to finish up our decorating. I love the red rubber ones because they give you more detail, and they, to me, they do. Unless you find a really, really good cling stamp. Sometimes it's hard to find good cling stamps. Sometimes they will like warp and stuff on you. But if you find a pretty good one, use that one. But so I got a variety for us to play with, some Brutus Monroes, just different ones that I found in different places. You always see that I have plenty of Halloween ones, so that's what I'm playing with today, but I do have some other ones. Some that I haven't even opened. I like doing like these little ones that are tickets and stuff like that, or have really cute sayings that you can put everywhere. Butterflies are always a favorite. These are some really cute little woodland creatures. And then this is just a whole bunch of other fun ones that we were using all week, or all the time that we've been doing this. I should say not all week. But these are all super fun. This is another just block for stamping. But I'm thinking, so all you really need to do is get your fabric, get out all the extra strings, and then just stamp away. I'll try some of these butterfly ones, are really pretty. Then I'll show you how I use them in the books. And if anybody has any questions on any of the prompts, anything like that, if you want to ask, go for it. Just let me know what your question is. I'm hoping everybody's been getting a good amount of ideas from everything. And yeah, I know it's been asked a few times, like, will you have access? You definitely will keep getting access. If you have to take a break, you can. You get access forever. And I'm always adding new things because I want it to, I know some people are having a little bit of trouble with the prompt for the paper, to make the paper out of the tissue paper. So I was going to do a demonstration of it. It's just we got kind of crazy with the shop stuff. So I will show a demonstration of how I make it. I'll try to make a video and put it up, or do a live and put it up on that one if you guys want to see it again. Because I'll do that from time to time. If I'm making something, I'm like, oh, that'll be good in that prompt, and then I'll just go stick it in there because it's easier that way sometimes. And then if you want, you can go in and color in things. But I like to just use them like this. It's fun. Sorry, my voice keeps going. Sorry. So I don't know what's been going on, but my shoulder has been like bugging me for the last 2 weeks, and now my thumb is numb from it, which is a pain in the butt because I can't feel when I'm doing this. Like I keep thinking I'm grabbing it, and so I can't tell if I'm for sure grabbing it. But I just go in here and then pull all these things out. So it's kind of fun. And what I'll do sometimes is if I don't want it to keep fraying after this, I will use a little bit of stop fray along the edge line of it, like just up to here. See if I can get it to focus. So just along the edges of the whole thing of where the fray starts. And then I will, that way it doesn't keep fraying past that point. But usually, because I glue it down, it stays pretty well. And you could also use it with coloring it in with markers. Color pencils work really nicely if you have it like put down pretty well. If you have it like glued down onto something, you can add a little color to it. I like using either watercolor pencils or pan pastels work really good. Sorry, I can hear myself sounding like super nasally and it's annoying. So this is just a watercolor pencil by Faber-Castell. You can usually find these in the kids section if you can't find it in the regular art section. And even though they're the kid ones, they actually have really good quality art supplies in kids. So if you ever see them in the kids section, and it's Faber-Castell, grab them, especially when they put them on sale. Because people think because they're in the kids section, they're not good quality, and they're actually really good. You see it's starting to bleed out just a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going in there and dampening it. And all I did was dip the tip of this into some water, and that gives me that. And I could even go in here and give me a little watercolor base right here. You can also do it where if you want to like try out watercolor pencils, you wet what you're going to draw on first, or you can brush over what you draw on with just a plain water brush. There's all kinds of different ways to do it. Some people just experiment. You can see how it reacts. I'm just grabbing up some of the water droplets that are right here and getting on my finger. I'm just putting an outline on the bottom part right here of this little mothy butterfly thing. I think it's a moth. Looks like a moth to me. Then I'll go back in with some water. And this is just a little water brush. It holds water in the barrel. You just kind of give it a squeeze and it'll let out some water. I must have been doing something greeny yellow with it. But since I outlined it, I can drag out some of that color. Right now it looks like a big old hot mess because it's like spreading. But as I let it dry, it'll start coming together a little better. I'm gonna set that one aside and let that one dry up. Still got a few more. It's very quiet, you guys. It feels weird. Is anybody playing along? All right, I'm just pulling strings on this other one. I also use my strings. So I like right about there is good. No special glue or anything. I just use my white glue. Get over here. Okay. Let's see. I won't put the glue all the way to the edge so that I can still get that fray happening. So I just give it just a tiny bit of a border when I glue it on. I'm just spreading the glue out just a little. cannot see today. Where is, there we are. I'm using my little nest of the stringy scraps on the side and just putting them in here. Sometimes what I like to do is when I have like little strings like this, I will mix them into a little thing of gesso, either clear or white, whatever you happen to have. I only have clear at the moment, but I'll mix them in there just to stiffen them up. Helps them to like just last a little longer too. So I have a love-hate with this gesso because this bottle just spews out so much of it and it leaks if I'm not careful. Clear gesso does so much. It is like it does give something sort of a, it's weird because it'll give it a little bit of a sandy grit, but at the same time make it really smooth. Oh, and I think I took it to the other side. I'm going to take off some of the fray off of this and use that. I'm just going to grab my twine, but I forgot we were using it to make a wreath. And I'll just get it in there just to make sure it's coated. So I'm grabbing everything. And then I'll just pull the strings and let them dry up a little. And they're still really flexible. They don't completely stiffen to the point where you can't move them or anything. But it gives them just a little bit of weight and you can move them around however you want. Like I said, this one's a clear gesso, so it's actually going to dry clear. It looks white. You want some deeper strings in there. So I'm going to let that dry all on there. I get the rest off my finger. Go. I still have a whole bunch of my mixture that we made from one of the other days. So it has the flowers and all of that with a little bit of gold to it. So I'm just pressing that in the corner. See, it starts to come together and it starts to make it really pretty. Oh, I should put it up there. I'm gonna hang it to dry above me. There we go. The sun's coming in right now, so the sun should hit it to help dry it. Has anybody decorated for Halloween and done all of that yet? Today my niece is going to come over to help decorate pumpkins, and then see if maybe this weekend my brother and his kids can come. I'm adding a little piece of star anise in there just to give it a pretty smell when I open the page. Let's see it. Wait, there it is. This is just a little silicone tip brush, so nothing sticks to it too hard to help place everything, hopefully. But there we go. With all the pretty string and everything. Just a really fast, cute little thing with the fabric. You can imagine how many of these you can make all kinds of different ways. If you want to do a quick sew on the sewing machine just around to give it some really cute edges is really fun. Are y'all still with me?
You can also do rub-on fabric.
What was that?
You can also use rub-ons on fabric.
Yep, I love using rub-ons. I'm starting to see a little bit more at the Dollar Tree, but I don't get out to the Dollar Tree as often as I used to, so but sometimes it's hard to find them for me. Let's stamp a few more and see what else we can get out of it. I really like the way that came out, though. Dude, super, super, super simple. Can't talk anymore, but yeah. Open it. I had my daughter go grab a package out of the door right now. She saw it. She was a bit happy. Right here. All right, so this one is just a little piece of fabric that was left over when I cut off the edge right now. So I'm just preparing that a little. Pulling on it. Get some fraying on it. This one is a dark brown. This one's called Potting Soil. And this is just like an old numbering stamp that I borrowed from my mom probably a bazillion years ago. But it's cute. You could put dates on it. Old date stamps and stuff like that are really cool. But I like this one because it's just nothing but numbers all the way across, like 0 through 9, and then like it has X's and minus and plus and periods and dashes and stuff. It's a really fun one. I love this one. So it could be a specific date that you want it to be. This one, a lot of times I tend to just put random numbers on it. So it's fun. All right, I'm gonna grab another thing to color it with. Because I just want a little color to it. These are pan pastels. If you've heard of a pastel stick or whatever, there's oil pastels, there's I forget what the other ones are called, but this is kind of more like a powdery pastel with tons of pigment to it. I love these things. They can get a little pricey, but they last forever. You can either get them like in big things like this. They had them at Michael's at one point, or not Michael's. They had them at what was the store? The frame store that Michael's had. Aaron Brothers. And when Aaron Brothers used to take coupons, I used to get them. Thinking I'm going to use this. You can see that's just me patting it off. Okay. I'm just going to add a little bit of color. Yeah. So there, now we got just a little bit of color on there. Instead of very, very, very little bit of this goes a long way. And they come in a container like this. And then you can stack them all and group them all together. But I like when you can get this. I used the 40 or 50% off coupon when I got the giant thing. So I love it that way. But if you can get a big old pan of them, they're really fun. Did not start with some basic colors on that. And like I said, you can do so much with just a little bit. I think still stuck on my finger. Oh, I apologize. It's approaching that time of day that the sun is about to come right over my desk. So I'm going to try not to let it blur out everything. There you go. Thinking I'm just going to put it right on top of that. There you go. Show up in the box, and it's a big giant box of what's they call it? I think they call it crack popcorn. I don't know. I got sent it to try it out on TikTok Shop. Every once in a while, I get sent things to try out, and do a review on it. And one of them was crack popcorn, and oh my god, it is definitely crack popcorn because we couldn't stop eating it. It was gone in a weekend, and there was 6 bags of this stuff. And they recently had like a live sale, so I got some more. If you want them, head over to my TikTok. They're in there in the shop. You go to the Misfit Crafter Menagerie shop. It is so good. All right, so just added that little strip in there. Let's make a few little fun things out of these. Use them kind of like ribbon. There we go. right. Let me see how big I want to make those. Thinking of. All right, here's a fun little embellishment that you can make, and you can do with stamps or just the fabric. I'm just cutting some strips. And where is my little jar? I lost my jar. Hold on. I'm gonna grab a jar. I guess I can use it with these too. I'm so used to doing certain things with my thumb. And like I said, right now my thumb is numb. I cannot, like all right here, it's like numb funny. So much paint and stuff on my nails. I'm going to stamp this, just a pattern. So all you do is loop it through any kind of, just pop it through. Paper clip, big one, little one, however you want. And then just give it a little knot at the end. And these make really cute little embellishments to hang off the ends. You can also just do this, and if you want, just sew it across right here. You can glue it, which I think I'm going to glue, you guys, because honestly, every time I try to tie something right now with my thumb being weird, I can't feel it, so I can't tie right. All right. It's like I can feel me pushing it down. Not too bad. And then all I do is pull on it a little bit. Okay, I gotta do it with the opposite hand so I can feel what the heck I'm doing. There we go. Just to kind of get the fraying and the pulling and the stretching of the fabric. Right? And it just makes a cute little embellishment that you can make. These are like super simple embellishments that you can just do with your scraps and put them everywhere. Really cute, just for your books. Put a bunch of different ones. And it looks really cute, just kind of hanging out. I like it. You can also do it with all of your paper scraps. So all I'm doing is just taking some paper scraps, making them about the same size. Not exactly the same size, but pretty close. Let's pick a cute one. I like these. They have really cute little sayings that look like somebody like kind of wrote them out, and then all these cute little other things. Little creatures and mushrooms. I'm kind of just placing it where I want it on there. So I can pick it up in the same spot. Make it just a little bigger. The one thing is when you're going to stamp on fabric, just make sure you have it nice and saturated. So it can get in there really good, especially if you have something like this type of a fabric, where it's going to end up sinking in pretty porously. Give it a good press. I just gave it a little snip so I could rip the edge. So I get a nice ripped edge. Let's see that. It says, "You make my world happy." Again, I apologize if the camera is backward. I'm trying to figure out how to get that corrected, but in the replay it will be flipped for you. Unless you guys are not seeing it backwards, but I am seeing it backwards. I'm just putting it on a little tilt just to make it look cute. And oh, I'm right here trying to figure out why is this not working. This was my prototype one. There's no blade in my prototype. This is why I try to pull them out of this drawer, because I'm always getting my prototype, and sometimes the prototypes aren't complete. There you go. I just want to rough up the edge just a little bit of the paper, just so it matches the tatteredness of everything else, which I probably should have just ripped it apart, but that's okay. So there we go. Cute little embellishment, and then it's a little big. I'm reaching into my drawer of stuff I collect. I love embellishments so much. I literally have one of the IKEA drawer things almost full of just embellishments, those big Alex drawers. But I always feel like I don't have enough, which I know is crazy, but it's the way I feel. See if I can pick up some of this pink. Change this pink a little. Probably not. It's too bright. But I think that still works. I brush the edges like very lightly with that, just to make it a little tattered. And get me a little thing there. All right, the sky is dry. It's dry, it looks wet because it basically bled all over the place. So the color bled out, but it doesn't look bad. One little one. It's a little messy looking, but I'm sure I can use it for something. So we got a few little guys there. Let's make another one. All right. So just wanted to get a little design on there. Make it look like a little fabric scrap, which it is. And we're gonna make a little cluster with this. Which I love using scrap clusters, which are really fun. I'm just grabbing like this little scrap, I think off of my autumn one that was at the retreat. I want to tether this up just a little more. There we go. The sun is like hitting this corner, as you guys can see, like really hard. So it gets really hot right there really quickly. So I'm just grabbing a bunch of pieces to use scrap wise that can go on here. Here's a little leaf. I can cut out my little leaf that's on here. Even though I can't go get them outside, I can at least do this. I was so happy like last week, and so it was all kind of foggy and stuff a little, and our highs were only getting to like 70 or something. And then this whole week and the weekend decided to go back up to like 78, 79. Like, no, I want it to be fall. What's it like where you guys are at?
It was 70 here, and then this week it's 90.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. Like, dang it. I was about to bring out all my sweaters again. I got to wear a couple sweaters. Got to put some sweatpants on. I was like, let me grab the shorts again. I'm like, that was not nice. That was a trick. Like, fooled you. I want a different color than that pink. What do I got? Got a good little scrappy bit here. This. That's cute. Okay. You're almost dry. Try the other side. Oh, I know. I just dirtied that up just ever so slightly. Almost looks like sandpaper now. And see, now this is just a little bit stiffer. It's got a little bit of crispiness to it, but it's still movable and you can pull things apart if you really want to. Here's that little fabric bit that we had before. I've been wanting to use this buttony thing forever. You know, it's only gonna stick with something good. Where is my fabric tack? Fabric tack 3-in-1. Stop it. There's so much glue on that now. Just a cute little cluster. Stick somewhere in your journal. Let's do another one. That is the perfect Halloween color. Let's do a little Halloween one. Sorry guys, I know the sun's coming right in over the edge there. So I'm gonna try to make sure we can still see all this. Hold on. I'm gonna get you guys a little closer so the sun's not totally killing everything. A little better. It's still getting some of that sun. We can see a little better over here. We'll do everything over here. Go. Love that. Super cute. Ooh, as I was pouring that, I was like, I should not have poured that on there. It's going to be nearly impossible for me to get it off of this mat. Yeah, it's basically like glue trying to get something off of this mat. Look at that. Let me see if I can get some of this sun away. Nope. Maybe this way is from the pedal I keep making my mess at. See if we can get that a little better. There we go. All right, I'm gonna pause you guys one more time. This camera is ridiculous, and I think it keeps changing over the last few months on where the sun hits. I've been trying to follow it. All right, I'm hoping that's a little better. Tiny bit. Sorry about that, guys. As you can see, it's just a little closer up. Nope. I can't find the angle that it's coming in from. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's see. This is my little Halloween one. Oh, that'll work. Okay. My cute little button bats here. Any questions on anything so far? Is anybody playing along so far? There we go. There. There we are. There. I set me up a little barrier between where the sun's hitting over here. Hopefully that helps a little. Try to get you guys a little better of an angle. See everything? Well, better. All right, so far we got little clusters that we can make. That guy came out a little funny, but that's okay. Different ways to make like little clustery thingies. And we have our just little ribbony stamp and our other little cluster down here. Make a few more of these guys. Let's see if I can get some of this off. This is not going to be easy to get off. Sometimes if I wet it, I can get it to move. Because it's such a newer silicone thing, it's like stuck. Nope, not moving. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to scrape this off later. Let me see if I have a little scraper I can use. I'll have to get in the sink later and try to get it off. Right now it's going to be all nice and glowy. Like I got it and then it started doing it again. All right, let's see what else we can get out of this thing. I'm going to do a nice big one. That one's a cute one. It's a little light, but it's still cute. All right, oops. So that's one little one for my stash. I like to just make like a whole bunch of them where I just cut them all out and then just stamp away. One of the things you can also do is just grab the whole thing and just start stamping away with different stamps, which is what I'm probably going to do now. get me a bunch of Halloween ones. Oh, it's very, very light though. It came out a little light, so I might go back over it with a marker or something. That one came out cute. That one I'll probably color in. All right, so far everybody doing pretty good. Everybody been making and like playing along. Or are you guys doing other stuff? So far, so good. All right, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know. If not, then I guess I'll go ahead and end it here if I haven't had any questions or anything. So if you guys come up with anything else, go ahead and post your ideas. I'll continue to post ideas, and then you guys will be able to get all that. You'll see some more of the creations that end up coming out from it. But like I said, just grab some stamps, grab some fabric, and just start stamping away and cutting them up. And you guys will have all kinds of really fun stuff. Like I said, it'll be flipped with the recording. But yeah, this one always records it kind of backwards. All right. If you guys need anything, let me know. Can't wait to see what you guys make today. Yeah, the sun is like just fighting me today. So I'll see you guys all later. Okay. Bye.